I'm delighted to be able to share with you today this magnificent Avatar, the Battle for Pandora Pinball Machine, which is produced by Jersey Jack Pinball, and you can get your hands on one of these exclusively through Pinball Heaven, who are not only the UK's sole distributor for Jersey Jack Pinball, but also the UK's largest pinball distributor and the largest stockist of pinball machines. So if you go on their website and you see something that you quite fancy, they're highly likely to have it in stock, and they can get it delivered to you very, very quickly, rather than having to wait a couple of months for it to be shipped over. That's certainly the case with Avatar, the Battle for Pandora, which is the latest, I was going to say offering from Jersey Jack, but I think I'm perhaps going to call it an epic, because it's based off the James Cameron film franchise Avatar, which is, it's just in itself, if you've ever seen the films, they're beautiful, colourful films where Cameron has designed this world of Pandora, and I certainly do think the Pinball Machine has done the world of Pandora justice. It is completely in depth, which is why they've provided me with this wonderful guide on how to play the game. It takes you through all the names, which can be very, very complicated if you don't know the world of Pandora yourself and you're not well versed in the lore of Pandora. Then you're going to need to learn all of these things, because that guide is going to tell you how to get through to multi-balls and get through to the different modes and allow you to plot yourself through what is an incredibly immersive and deep game with a very, very deep rule set. Now, it's not just immersive because of that absolutely stunning LCD screen, which you can see just up there. An LCD screen, I think, has done really well in terms of paying homage to the world of Pandora, but also in terms of the number of movie clips from the films which are incorporated on here. Now, this game has been designed by Mark Seiden, and this is his first ever commercial pinball machine, and I've got to say it shoots very, very well indeed. I should probably warn you though, if you're considering getting one of these, it's heavy. I mean, it's really, really heavy, and it took me a little while to try and figure out why, because there's a number of mechanisms inside. There's a lot of coils, there's a lot of wires. They do tend to JJP, once you lift up the playfield and you have a look under the hood, so to speak, they do seem to use a thicker gauge wire than a lot of their competitors. There's a lot of coils in there. There's a lot of mechanisms going on under the playfield. But I realise it's not just that. I've not encountered too many games which are heavier than, funny enough, Jersey Jack's The Hobbit, very, very heavy game, but also The Big Lebowski by Dutch Pinball. I never thought I'd lift a game that was heavier than those two, but this might just be it. And I come to the realisation, once I was sort of setting up and getting ready for this video, the plywood that they've used appears to be 2 or 3 mil thicker than anything else I can see on any number of my pinball machines. And I did go around, being the anorak that I am, I did go around checking all of them to see if that was the case. So it's sturdy, it's incredibly well built. It's got these wonderful radicals on the side as well, which they're just going to stand up to the rigours of a pinball machine being moved around far more than the normal decals would on the side of a game. If you don't know what the radicals are, basically the artwork is printed onto, I guess, a thin piece of plastic or perspex or something like that, but it gives the artwork a real depth, but also it means it's tough, so it's going to take a little bash or a little knock. But as I say, do not be fooled. This is a very, very sturdily built pinball machine. Now, what I'm going to do in terms of this video, I'm going to take that camera off of its tripod there. I'm going to show you around the playfield, explain a little bit about the game, and then show you some gameplay later on at the end of the video. But there is an awful lot to take in on this game. There's a lot of rules. It's a beautiful game. There's 2 editions. This is the limited edition number 432. There's also a collector's edition as well, which is, it's actually, so it actually has the skin, the skin of the Na'vi. I think they're called the Na'vi, the indigenous people to Pandora. The airbrushing and the powder coating on the collector's edition actually matches like the stripes of the Na'vi, which I think is pretty damn cool actually. This game is beautifully lit. beautiful, so well lit that I'll never be able to do it justice on this video. It's incredibly immersive and really does create the world of Pandora. I think probably in a way that only Jersey Jack can. They really go to town in terms of their lighting, in terms of trying to create a mood of a pinball machine. And I've always thought it with Jersey Jack, they are the Rolls Royce of pinball machines, and certainly they've followed on from what I think was one of the best pinball machines in recent times in terms of Elton John, and it was always going to be really, really hard to match that, particularly designed by Steve Ritchie as well. The music, the sound, but I think you have to admit, even if you don't particularly enjoy the theme, maybe you're not the biggest Avatar fan in the world, you would concede that they have done a remarkable job in bringing a lot of the colours, a lot of the vibrancy of the game to life in terms of the film, and applying the film to what is, by all intents and purposes, a flipper game, a pinball game with, how many flippers has it got? Six flippers and a bunch of steel balls. We'll show you the balls flying around, but the shots are very, very makeable, and I think that Mark Seiden's done a really, really good job with this. Right, let's take that camera off of its tripod and let's show you around the game a little bit more. So first things first, I think let's take a little look at the artwork and the cabinet. As you can see on a lot of these JJPs, they have the headphone socket, the Bluetooth, and the volume dial is on the outside, which you can see just there. Beautiful blues on this. I actually do prefer this edition rather than the collector's edition because there's just a lot more blues on it, which hopefully I'm going to show you now. If you look at this cabinet, it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, stunning, and these radicals work really, really well. I'm not sure on the camera whether you'll be able to tell that it's not a decal. Maybe you can just see here. You can just see on the edge there that actually they're not stickers at all. You can probably see this. Yeah, what's that? 2mm thick, probably 2mm thick plastic. As you can see, the armour is beautiful. And one thing I really did like straight away, so you can see this apron. It is a metal apron, but look at the game rules. They're actually a magnet, so you can take them off there. I don't like game rules on games, actually. Obviously, you need them on location, but it's great to know that you can take that off. Now, first of all, you can see immediately all the colours, and there's so much going on here. There's UV, RGB LEDs, just so much colour configuration going on. It's going to be very, very hard for the camera to pick it out, and I'm looking through the screen as I record it, and I have to say it just doesn't do it justice at all. When this game is going through modes, and particularly in Eclipse mode, the UVs shine and the game is absolutely glowing in a way that no camera can really do it justice. So you can see here some of the modes. 2 flippers, as I mentioned. Let's just take you through and show you some of the shots. Well, first of all, the first thing you're going to notice, we can't avoid it for too much longer because it's right in the middle of the screen. That is a lower playfield. Now, this is really interesting. I've often said that the Munster's lower playfield feels a little bit gimmicky. Not because I feel that the flippers are so small and the weight of the ball is so light, it almost feels like a Christmas cracker attempt at a lower playfield. This one, I don't know how well you can see the ball, if you can actually see it. There you go, you can just see at the bottom of the screen just there. It's more like, it's not a full-size pinball, but there's enough weight to it and there's enough size to it that you really do feel that you're hitting pinball shots on that lower playfield. Now, to get down to that lower playfield, you've got to go through, I guess, would we call it an upper lower playfield? It's still actually under the playfield, but there's one pop bumper in here and some targets, which hopefully you can see. And you go through there, you have to illuminate those targets, and you switch which target is lit by using your flipper buttons, and then it will allow the ball to pass into this lower playfield. Now, I can hear what you're saying. Hold on. there's something else. We can see another lower playfield. This is not a lower playfield. This is a ball lock. So you will lock 3 balls in there and it will initiate a multi-ball. In fact, it's quite easy to initiate a multi-ball on this game. You can actually do it from plunge. So there's a skill shot. I'll just show you now if I can, which you plunge from here and it goes around and lodges in to the saucer there. It's a rewarding skill shot because it does take a bit of skill, and it's amazing with pinball how many skill shots don't actually require skill. You can get off to a very, very quick multi-ball with this. Jersey Jack have got a bit of a reputation for being too multi-ball heavy. And I think that was certainly the case with Guns N' Roses. But it's not the case here. You have to actually go for that to try and get that early multi-ball. And it's up to you if you do so. So, I mentioned earlier on 6 flippers. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another one upper flipper, which hopefully you can see just here. And then also an additional flipper right up there. Now, that flipper has a very, very interesting role to play because this game has a kickback, but a very interesting kickback. Now, for those of you that are familiar with pinball, the kickback, as you're used to, a coil will make a post come out of here and it will kick the ball back. It doesn't necessarily kick the ball back into play like you might get with a Star Trek Next Generation or a Whitewater. What it does, it kicks the ball back up a ramp which goes all the way up here, and the kickback drops down here, and then you have to hit it with this flipper. And there are a number of upper playfield shots. I say upper, well, I don't mean an additional playfield, I mean at the top of the playfield. There are a number of shots which can be hit from both of the upper playfield flippers. You've got this mechanism here, which you'll all recognise from the film. It has a, I don't want to overly sort of force it because the game's not switched on, but that has a sort of stabbing action, which you'll recognise from the, well, it's the big duel, the big fight at the end of the first Avatar film, which you'll be familiar with. The orbits on this game, if you're wondering how it shoots, the orbits are really nice. Probably my favourite shots on this game are the orbit shots. It was exactly the same with Elton John, actually. The orbit shots just shot beautifully. If you're wondering how to get down to this lower playfield area, it's via this shot here. Basically, yeah, you either hit the shot into there or you hit here. This will pop up where it says dive, and then the ball, you hit the ball under there and it'll pop to this first initial lower playfield. Let's take a little look at the screen, which, I mean, really needs no introduction, does it? It's just a magnificent screen. There you go. You can see I qualified. My little bit of glory there was I'd qualified as the Tree of Souls champion, which I'm quite pleased with because this game was at the UK Open, so a lot of really good players played this game. So I'm really pleased to have featured on here at all. Actually, sorry, there's a little bit of glare as you can see. It's not glare, it's the eclipse. But the screen is wonderful. Really, really great. The sound is magnificent on here. I was a little bit apprehensive about the call-outs because I have to say, I've got to be perfectly honest with you here. I find the names of everything, you can probably see them here, completely confusing, and nobody wants to hear me try and pronounce these words, which you can see before you. But I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't be able to plot my way around the game. The call-outs tell you what to do, which I think is very, very helpful. They're telling you what to hit and when to hit it, which I think is great. There are a lot of custom call-outs from cast members as well, which is absolutely brilliant. And I think if you are certainly well versed in the whole world of Pandora, then you're going to love this game. But I always thought of it as Lord of the Rings in that sense. I love Lord of the Rings, but because I love Lord of the Rings, I sort of understand it. It's a very, very complicated and it's a very deep game. But that's okay for me because I am well versed in the lore of Middle Earth. somebody else might find it a little bit difficult and a little bit overwhelming, so it would take a long time for anybody else to learn Lord of the Rings. I think this game is going to take a very, very long time for people to learn. But if you are invested in that, then you're going to get a very rewarding game, which is probably going to last you a long time. One thing I want to just point out here, there's a ramp at the back, and hopefully you can see the spinner just there. That's a sort of jump. The spinner's sort of suspended at the end of the ramp, so you've almost got to get some air off of it. So that's very rewarding, but I like the spinners. I do like JJP spinners. I know that they've had some criticism because they make weird noises, and some of the people didn't like it in Elton John. I love them. I love that sort of arcade noise that the spinners made on Elton John. And there you have it. Right, I think that all that leaves us left to do is to have a game, show you a little bit of gameplay on it. And just to remind you, if you are interested in playing this game and you're interested in buying one, then look no further than Pinball Heaven. That's the sign there. The UK's largest pinball distributor. And it's worth remembering that all these games, not just Jersey Jacks, all these games are customisable. So if you're finding any of the games a little bit difficult, this is not a difficult game to shoot, by the way. You can have long games on this. This is not a tough game. But you can always adjust the number of balls and the difficulty levels to sort of customise the game. Hopefully, can you see that? Can you see that? The way that the light was moving around there. It's an absolute feast. But yes, as I was saying, you can customise the game to your own difficulty level. Right, let's have a game. Okay, first of all, the glass is off. That's to make it easier for you guys to see, because glare is not the friendly thing to the camera. When you're filming a pinball machine, that's going to make it a little bit louder. So ordinarily there wouldn't be this much noise when the ball is moving around on the playfield. Going to try to plunge. Oh, I just missed the skill shot. But I've got a little couple of upper loops going there straight away.
Connect tokens to light soundboard board.
If you look there, they've got a kickback. That kicks it right back there. And that's what I was talking about earlier.
I was doing that anyway,
Not quite got the timing for that upper flipper shot yet, as you can see. But if you get it in that saucer, it basically, the vertical up kicker will push it back to that upper flipper. Now what I want to do more than anything here... Oh, it's not lose the ball! Oh no! Look how beautiful that screen is. It's telling me, it's very informative about how badly I've done. Missed the skill shot then, but a skill shot is easier. I'm just not doing it particularly well. That should be a ball save. No ball save! That was me telling you how easy this game was, and it's kicking my ass. Okay.
First contact. Your mental combo. Ball one locked.
Okay, that's ball one locked. Going to try another skill shot now. I've got it as well. So that should be ball locked 2. So that's another skill shot. Now, I just want to show... Oh my goodness. I just want to show you something here, if I can trap the ball up a minute. Okay, no. Okay, the ball is trapped up. If you just point that camera and just have a look down there, you'll actually see that one of the balls, if you can see that, just move it further across, is actually, you can see it, very good, it's in there. So ball lock 1 is in there. I was wrong, it's not ball lock 2. Ball lock 1. Right, let's try and get something going here. Well, that was a terrible game, but at least you know I'm not over editing it and making it up. Well, I'm going to have to play another game, because what I must show you is that lower playfield. And I did a terrible job of showing you then. Kick back. Okay, now what's going to happen is there's the kick back again, and I've lost the ball. Right, at the moment, what we've got here is we actually have... This shot is open here. Once I hit it into here, well, it will be open once I plunge it, hopefully. We should go into this upper playfield and then down to here.
Hit the action button to select your super skill shot.
Nearly. Okay, now it's going to go to that top playfield, that top little playfield in there. I've actually got to use the flipper buttons so as I hit every light, and then if I do it correctly, it will go down to the next lower playfield, which you can see here. Now, as you can see, I'm actually hitting proper shots here. So it does, which I did it. Basically, I achieved the objective. And the ball is now going to pop out just here. And I've now got a multi-ball. As you remember earlier on, I mentioned that maybe some JJP games, they give away the multi-balls a little too quickly. Certainly not the case here, because my first game I wasn't able to get anything going on really, so it can be, I wouldn't ever call this a brutal game, but it's not as easy for multi-balls as some of the older JJP games, certainly. Oh, traps up there. And again, it's giving you instruction throughout. I think you're certainly going to have to learn these call-outs, but they do help. Oh, that was just a bad shot on my part. Ooh.
Award added.
Lock 1 is lit.
Oh, bit of a reject then. But that upper shot that it did reject down the ramp, that was because it was a backhanded shot. It is very much a makeable shot. Some people suggested it's not, but I think it is. And there it is. Oh no, it got rejected then after saying it. And as you can see, I'm actually having a much longer game here. You can see from the screen my progress. I'm glad you looked at the screen then, because I lost the ball. Okay. Last ball. You can just have a little close look at the screen here. You'd tell there's a lot of information on there. It's telling me last ball. It's giving me an idea on progress. It's telling me what super skill shot to play. Okay. Right, last ball. I better make a go of it.
Skill shot.
And that is ball lock 2. So there are now 2. No, there's not actually. Sorry, that's back to ball lock 1, of course, because I had the multi-ball. Let's see if I can lock it in there again. Yes, so that would hopefully be ball lock 2, but that skill shot gives me 6-second ball save. I like that kickback. That's really good, particularly when you can get a little combo just like that.
Ball 2 locked.
And just go and have a little look at that screen there. See, just brilliant detail on it. Okay, so that is ball 2 locked. There's that spinner. I don't know if you heard that noise. I do love, as I mentioned earlier, the spinner noises on these JJPs.
The leader.
No, that started a song chord. I'm getting shoot again now. Hopefully that should be a full save. It is.
Hit action button to retrieve error.
Oh, I'm so bad on that upper flipper shot. It's nothing to do with the shot. It's my timing is awful.
This family is our friends.
I'm not managing to make any of these shots.
Shoot the lower left right. Max.
I love that orbit. I absolutely love it. It's locked it in there. It's not travelled all the way back, so there is a magnet at the back. Now we've got another multi-ball.
The Hallelujah Mountains multi-ball.
Okay.
Brother, I'm gonna put you. You follow me through.
Contact.
Oh! That's gone down to the bottom again, down to those lower playfields.
Hit the bumper target.
But I didn't hit the necessary targets with the pop bumper, so it didn't go down to the lower playfield.
Active warning.
Oh, lost the ball. And there it is. It's taken, can you see? It wants to take my photo. So I'm going to put my name in now. If I can remember my name. So congratulations. What have I got? I've got a Turu champ. Not bad. I'll take a Turu champ. Better remember to smile. Here we go. Okay. What did I do there? End. I should have smiled. I forgot to smile. Oh no. There's the Turu champ. And there you go. As you can see, lots to learn on this game. But that is Avatar. Whale breach there. I'm not sure it's a whale. But whatever it is, it's breaching. Very makeable shots. I wouldn't call it. I think calling it 2 lower playfields is probably pushing our luck. It's sort of one that links into the other. But this, I just want to reiterate, this is much better than Munsters in terms of it feeling like a proper pinball shot. And there it is. Avatar: The Battle for Pandora by Jersey Jack Pinball, available from Pinball Heaven.